Happy Friday, everybody. Unless it's not Friday and you're listening to this in the future. This is episode 102 of the Sensible Sociopath podcast. We are live currently, unless you're listening to us in the future.
Yeah, you know, time travel's a finicky thing.
It's true, yeah, time and space. We have Superfan Dan.
Hello again.
On our second mic, and then our co-host and in-studio producer.
Hi, guys.
Romerica Rifkin.
My long friend, time friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend.
I didn't play the retarded clip, Roma.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm surprised you let me back. I mean, after last week, you know, I thought I was done.
Yeah.
Of course, I also thought that after the first time, but here we are again. Steve.
We like Dan.
Well, thank you.
Superfan Dan. It's very likable.
Just the superfan part, not the actual Dan.
I think you're the most likable person as far as personality-wise. Because Roma is you don't even...
Can't touch that. She
used to sit in this part of the studio.
Oh.
I've been relegated to the producers.
I had to put a wood pile full of spiders between us to keep her out.
Well, you know, at least you managed to wrangle the spiders well enough to where when it's time, and it does happen, she has to, you know, do a Stalin for Romerica that the spiders will clear the path so she can get through.
A well-trained spider is an asset. I've always said that.
He does say that a lot.
You know, I imagine that it is. I like the little fuzzy jumpy ones.
Yeah.
Those are cute.
Because they're
all twitchy and like...
Yeah, and they hunt other spiders. Yeah. That's the important part. So, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And you know, today we're going to talk about a lot of our love of animals, let's say.
Critters.
Okay.
Yeah. Animals, critters, anything like that. So before we do that, I do want to welcome everyone to the grapiest show on the internet.
Yeah, grapiest show ever.
If you like grapey dudes, you got it.
They'll just hold you down, tie you to a radiator, and grape you right in the mouth.
Exactly. All right, that was a little close.
It was close. It wasn't there.
Dance around it, Dan. You'll get it.
Okay.
All
okay.
right.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. So please live chat with us. Your family stories or your dog family stories. They're part of our families, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
In a way.
I mean,
you don't have to like your family.
No, but you can't always choose them, but...
That's true. Like the spiders, Roma didn't choose them.
No.
Part of our family, though.
I don't doubt that.
So, do us a favor, smash the like button, shoot that share to your favorite friends and family and animals, and sub as hard as you can to this podcast.
100%.
So, I wanted to start the show off by something we haven't done in a little while, is coming up with all of our listenership all over the world. So we get some metrics, and it kind of shows us who's downloading our stuff and who's listening to it. So I wanted to update everybody with that. So I don't know if you want to pour the SenSoc whiskey while I'm regaling you with the countries of origin, but I do want to shout out those listeners, and we certainly appreciate it. So if you live in a country, one of these countries, we're talking to you.
Yeah.
The first one, kind of a not a big surprise, United States. Okay.
What?
Yeah. Great people there. Lovely
Come on,
people.
man. We live in communist Russia.
The best.
Yeah. Canada, Ireland, and the UK. Those are probably the big four, I would say, that most English-speaking podcasts. Then we get into the crazy shit like France.
Oh, well, that's our neighbor.
Australia.
Okay, those guys taught me a very good thing to know.
What's that?
At some point. Well, it's called the Gooch Punch.
All right.
If you're not familiar with what a gooch is, it's...
I know what a cooch is.
Well, it's close.
Okay.
It's close. It's the in-between.
Yeah.
Most of the time they call it the taint.
Mm-hmm. Because it taint the front, taint the back.
Right. But I found this out from late night at Sherry's with one of my friends we ran into a guy who was from Australia, and he was talking about this gentleman, and he's like, yeah, I just had to make sure that, everything was all right. Didn't have to, give somebody the old Gooch Punch. And I'm like, the what? And he's like, just bunch up your knuckle and just get right down in there and punch him right in the gooch. And I'm like, the gooch? And he's like, yeah, the gooch in between, your arsehole and your nutsack. And I'm like,
you're like, still not following you. And then he gooch punched me.
I didn't want to get to that part, but it is an unfortunate. Very, very accurate. And then the laughing hysterically was my friend who was with me. So, Gooch Punch. To the Gooch Punch. To the Gooch Punch.
To the Gooch Punch, to our Australian friends. Cheers. Let's see. So we've got Germany, Sweden, Norway. One of the most peaceful countries, Brazil. Also another most peaceful country, Mexico. South Korea, Japan, Denmark, Austria. Yeah, Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Repping. Netherlands, Latvia, Argentina, Malaysia, India, Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, Portugal, Singapore, Italy, South Africa, and Albania.
Wow.
We
That's
lost
pretty cool.
Venezuela.
I don't think Venezuela was ever on here.
Yeah, no, you had
What about
somebody
Hector?
Hector
did have
from
Hector,
Venezuela.
yes.
What happened to Hector?
But he was a YouTube, subscriber,
yes.
and this is off Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was.
And
We
haven't-
don't know what happened to Hector.
Yeah, Hector, if you're watching, please reach out to us, message us, comment, something. Yeah, because he was one of our favorite dudes. He did
I remember Hector. That's why I had to bring it up, because I was surprised to not hear Venezuela.
and we did that episode about Venezuela and just kind of how unstable and crazy everything is, and it is pretty unstable and pretty crazy over there.
Well,
basically two governments running the place, and neither of them doing a good job.
one just tries to rock, paper, scissors, and they both throw fire. It's just terrible.
So hopefully Hector's doing all right in Venezuela. So yes, this is not an all-encompassing, but from the metrics just from Spotify.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. We have, unfortunately, well, we don't know numbers on this, but our non-binary audience has diminished by half.
Oh.
So we're only at 3% non-binary.
Non-binary. So the singular.
Well, like the singularity, like where human beings and machines combine, like the Borg. Well, we have 82% male viewership or listenership, 14% female, which is funny because I think it's almost the complete opposite on YouTube.
They're slacking.
Probably because we're so handsome. I
That's
think
gotta
that's
be
what
it.
it is.
Yeah.
We're too handsome for it.
Exactly. Like all these ladies just sorry about your panties, ladies.
It was me. I came on.
Getting
came on, and they were like, I don't know who the hell this goofy looking dude is. He's got a long neck, wearing a tie. Get out of here. Forget it.
Is that a Tasmanian
Forget it.
devil tie? I'm in.
And Bugs and Daffy.
Excellent.
And Bugs and Daffy. Yeah, it's another dad tie
Yes.
from the car sailing days.
The dad ties are good. Okay, so today I want to talk about a few things. The first one being what is currently sitting on my foot, which is a dog.
Are you sure it's a dog and not a spider?
I'm the proud owner of a new dog.
Congratulations.
Oh, well.
Nice, young, spry, 14-year-old.
Well, they say 14 is when a dog really hits its stride.
Exactly, yeah. That's when they're really at top of their game. So it's actually my parents' dog.
Okay.
Roma, you may know them. So
Seen
You have
them
parents?
once or twice in passing.
the dog is generally not my responsibility. However, it's getting older to the point now where since I'm in a wheelchair all day, I live on a very flat surface and the dog can't get upstairs.
We all live on a flat surface, Steve.
That is true. Yep. Sorry, Roma was giving me the stink eye
Wink.
over there. So basically, I'm the only one that can take this this poor lost animal, and it hasn't gone great so far. First of all, she's a bit neurotic, and I understand because a whole change of environment, you're going to have some anxiety. And,
Sure.
and so, constantly wandering around,
Sniffing things.
following you into the bathroom and sticking its head under your urine stream. And then when it walks
Okay.
out with with your urine on its head,
Proudly.
it stops exactly in the middle and then looks back at you to make sure you're still coming, even though its tail is hitting you between the legs.
Coming, I thought you were peeing.
Well, you got to find the time.
Okay, so you're
Yeah. I mean, it's the
You're
only time she's
going.
not
You're-
looking at
you're-
me.
so you're
As long as that you're still following.
Yes,
Not
exactly.
following.
Walk 2 steps, check. Walk
Okay.
2 steps, check.
Yeah.
And tail hitting me between the legs.
Just ringing that bell.
Yes, yes.
From the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Right?
No. She's a little smaller than that, but thankfully my previous dog was big enough to whack me in the.
Well, I thought they would be hanging off the seat of the wheelchair.
You're right. I can't feel my legs. I'm sorry. I lied to everyone. I was just trying to look cool, like I was walking around.
Steve, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We accept all peoples here. At least to the best of my knowledge, you accept all peoples here.
Well, we let you in.
What? Yeah. I mean, it's still a shock to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I know it's a shock to everybody watching.
Wow, you guys have wallpaper? What's with this? It's fancy. I don't have any wallpaper. I live in a 1990s hotel, a Comfort Inn and suites. I don't know if they were suites back then. Let's go with Comfort Inn.
Comfort Inn.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Red roof. So last night, I get the dog yesterday. And,
Yeah.
letting the dog adjust, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Dog doesn't poop, take it out to pee. Everything's pretty good. And
All right.
then feed it dinner at night, and it eats a little bit of it. I gave it the rest of my cheeseburger because I made these badass pub style cheeseburgers. And the secret to a pub style cheeseburger is you put butter in it.
Uh-huh.
And so I use a nice 80-20 ground beef mix.
Well, did you do the beer cheese?
No.
It's you didn't do no beer cheese.
I
How's
did
it a pub
Swiss
burger?
and American, and made it a double. And then I did a nice onion aioli.
Well,
It was just onion powder and mayo. But we call it an aioli.
hey, that's what happens when you add stuff to mayo. It automatically.
Yep.
It's an
fancies it up.
aioli.
That's right.
It's an aioli.
Yeah. So when you're reading those fancy menus, it's just mayo.
It's just a flavored mayo, people.
Exactly. So
Restaurant
With-
knowledge.
yeah, some mayo with some Mrs. Dash in it.
Fancy.
So I ate almost all of the burger. Gave the rest of the burger to the dog. The dog then took the burger and then put it onto the carpet. So my nice buttery burger was on the carpet.
Okay, making sure it can handle the carpet.
Yes.
All right.
Ooh. Roma, do you want to give shout outs to everybody in the chat?
Yeah, so we've got let's see, Sarah, Kat, Margot, Steve S, Steve Wilstead.
Yeah.
Wilstead.
Yes. It's a very fancy man.
Jeez.
No, he's a very good friend of mine.
He says, "Hey, who allowed you to be a dog owner?"
It was thrust upon me, Steve.
And then
That's-
Steve S said that you're welcome for the show material.
Yeah.
That's Steve to the fourth power now.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Too many
right?
Steves.
We're pretty Steve deep here on the Sensible Sociopath podcast.
Just Steven all over the place.
And what's funny is there's not that many Steves out there, really. It's
I mean, there
especially with
isn't,
the
there
PH.
isn't.
But,
Yeah.
Oh, you've got the.
but there are a lot. But even then, I don't meet a lot of Steves and Stevens outside of the immediate circle of all of these Steves
I
that
know.
coalesce around our life.
I know so many Steves, but it's not I don't go out into life and say, for instance, if I was to go to a bar, I don't usually meet guys named Steve, but I always get put into situations like work or so my landlord's name is Steve, your name's Steve, my ex-father-in-law's name was Steve,
You're just
my relatives'
Steven
names are
all
Steve.
over the place.
Yeah, it's crazy. My best friend's name is Steve, but they're all
Ice skating instructor,
very
tennis,
oral surgeon.
they're all very interconnected. It's not just random people you meet on the street.
I found out recently that for at least a day at my job there was Daniel A, Daniel V, Daniel O, and I'm Daniel W. So,
and I don't know a lot of Dans.
See,
I've met a few.
I don't either. And so it perplexes me. Yeah, perplex. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It perplexed me about the fact I had to call my boss and be like, so are we trying to spell a word here?
Yeah.
With all of these last names? Because I've never had so many Daniels like ever in one area. Is it like a portal to hell opening up by how many are in the same? Because apparently we're good with Steve's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I ever met another Roma, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm done. Like, she's got to kill him.
I think I've met 4.
What?
Mm-hmm.
There's only one now, right?
Yeah, Roma's like a Highlander.
Good. Okay.
She has to behead any other.
At least you went through the quickening and you got their powers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm
I hope to never see
Roma.
your sword.
Christopher Lambrecht, was that his name?
Lambert.
Yeah. There
Some
can
peop-
be only one.
Some people might
The weirdest
say,
voice.
well, I was actually thinking about Highlander the other day and just Kiergan, who was the villain in that,
Yes.
done by Clancy Brown. Ramirez.
Is that his name? Is Clancy Brown?
Yeah, that's
Really?
yeah.
He was a great bad guy in the 80s, like
dude,
80s, 90s.
He's one of the best voice actors ever.
Because he was so, like, I mean, he was huge and, like, just had that, like,
Still,
I don't know,
he
something
was
about him.
he was one of the guards. He was like the main asshole guard in Green Mile.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
And he was also the instructor in Starship Troopers who threw the knife at the guy's hand. You cannot fire a weapon if you disable your enemy's hand.
Was he in, he was not in Shawshank, though, was he? I'm thinking of Green Mile.
I was thinking Shawshank.
I think
because
he was in it,
he
too.
is in Shawshank, not Green Mile.
No,
That
I think he's in, was it?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
Shawshank Redemption. He was
The other
asshole
guy
guard.
was the
Yeah.
guy, yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking Shawshank.
Mhm.
See, this is why there's always a chance that I might not
And then-
end up next time.
One of the greatest things about the Highlander, the movie, not the television show, because
Okay.
the television show, the guy was a little too swarthy.
Yeah,
He was a
Adrian
little
Paul.
too-
He was just a pirate.
Yeah.
Highland, there was too much sex.
You
There
know,
was like blowjobs in every third scene. It was like
Well, when you're Christopher Lambert in the 80s,
it
yeah.
was gross.
apparently, when you come close to death, they say something about it being an aphrodisiac. They tried to prove it with Highlander. And
I started
it's
watching
just-
it, and I think the first episode, it was like every 3 minutes there was like some sex scene. I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
He's
This is
just-
gross. It's
he's just-
awkward.
When you meet a man with a centuries and centuries old penis, you gotta try it out.
Because that nut's got to be busted.
I'm just saying.
Ugh. Yeah, no, it's just
got to be
awkward.
busted.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
If
He's finger blasted quite a few of the ladies. Wink.
Here's the thing, and we've talked about this before on the show, but I feel like unless you're in a sexy situation, with somebody that you
Like a subway parking lot.
well, or in some situation where like sex is
Bathroom.
an option, watching a show with other adults or non-adults where sex scenes repeatedly pop up is super fucking awkward. Am I the only one that thinks that?
No, I don't think you are. Because it is awkward. Because you're like sitting there like, geez, should I whip out my dick too?
Well, exactly.
I mean,
It's like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Am I supposed to am I supposed to be turned on? Because if I'm supposed to be turned on, then now what's the next action after this? You know?
You
because
kiss,
then they're
kiss your grandma.
Then they're kissing grandma or
Yeah.
shooting somebody in the face, or because I mean, what I discovered from Highlander is apparently when you stab yourself and survive, you get laid.
All right.
And he's stabbing
Like Artie
himself.
Lang?
Oh, wait a minute.
He's stabbing himself like every 10 minutes.
Hold on. Sarah says we're confusing Highlander with Outlander.
No.
No.
I am.
No, you're not.
I'm not. Do they
No.
both have like unnecessary sex
Yeah.
scenes? Okay.
Yeah, they did.
Well, everything kind of had that sexiness.
I mean,
That's what the Christopher Lambert was. Is he was like this kind of weird sex symbol back then.
I don't know what it is, but it's definitely got to do with the accent and the fact that he couldn't die.
okay. Steve S says that I'm spot on. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just think that it's so weird that you're making these shows and you're probably going to watch it with like friends or family members or whatever. And like, unless you're with an intimate partner, it's fucking weird.
It's still weird even when you're with a partner.
That's true too. Because then what do you like make eye contact and be like, should we? Are we like, because I feel left out.
Well, so here's the thing. There was a point in time where pornography was not acceptable in most households, like I think now that like it's our generation that's like the middle America.
Pretty much everybody watches porn.
Yeah, you just come home,
Kind of.
Uncle Dave's just sitting on the couch,
Oh,
just
I had an
waxing
Uncle
it
Dave.
off.
I had two Uncle Daves.
You're not supposed
Everybody
to.
has an Uncle Dave.
You're not supposed to, like I would imagine if you're married, it's like, yeah, maybe you watch porn with your significant other.
Nobody does that.
If you're in a loving relationship, it's the other person probably wouldn't like it if you were watching a bunch of pornography.
Yeah.
By yourself.
Exactly.
If you're watching it by yourself, then they're like, well,
Why?
Don't you find me attractive anymore? Why aren't we doing this?
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. It's just a whole road you go down.
Yeah.
but we don't have a dungeon, sweetheart. For crying out loud, I got the saw, set up. The table's almost ready.
Yeah.
Yes, the sawhorse, exactly.
Yikes.
If it's not 100%, it's not a dungeon.
Yeah, you're what's that?
You don't want a
50
half-assed
Shades of Grey.
dungeon.
That's
Oh, no.
that's
no,
Superfan
no.
Dan's favorite.
Oh, please.
365 days.
That's closer than 50 Shades of Grey.
Have you guys actually watched that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
50 Shades of Grey is...
I never saw it. I never read it either. It sounds pretty tame.
It is. It is. And that's what they tried.
Oh, a rich guy with a fetish? Wow.
Yeah.
Weird. How remarkable of an idea that a woman might be attracted to that. It's like, Jesus.
Money
he's like-
and sex?
Well, yeah, and he's super attractive too, at least in the movie.
Exactly.
And it's kind of dangerous?
Yeah.
I'm in. For crying out loud, let's do this.
At least with Beauty and the Beast or the Phantom of the Opera, he was like a subterranean monster.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Where
He
they were
really,
fucking hard.
Yeah.
And he had no nose in Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And in
he
Beauty
still
and the
blew
Beast,
her back out.
it was Ron Perlman. So, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You
Another
do Ron Perlman.
Another television series from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
So, point of it is,
I think we got off on
Roma
a tangent.
was a Highlander. Roma goes around beheading other people named Roma.
And props to you for that.
Thank you.
If I could get away with killing other Dans.
Yeah.
You'd be a serial killer. See, me, there's so few aromas that nobody misses them.
Good.
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 All right,
Because
Dan.
they shouldn't be.
Too great for hate, Dan. Jeez.
Well, you hate things. If you're going to hate something, you put passion into it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things out there. It's just not worth the energy for hating. But other people named
Your
The
name.
same thing as you or your friends. Yeah, they're worth it.
Oh, yeah. Blind rage.
Yep.
Oh, 100%. Like, that's when you're like, are you kidding? This is happening now.
So I took the dog out.
Dog.
Last night after the dog rubbed cheeseburger butter all over the carpet. She did eventually eat all the food that I made for her. It was on a nice keto roll, so keep her nice and trim.
Okay, yeah.
2 kinds of cheese, always nice.
Well, it better be.
Took her out on a little walk, and during that walk, she peed, peed and did all of her
dog
stuff.
yeah.
Came back in, and I went, eventually went to bed. Well, after her following me around all the time, she decided to just kind of sit outside my room and whine. That was after I put up a baby gate to keep her out of my room, because I cut the headboard on my bed so that it would be lower to the ground, more aerodynamic.
Well, it's the only way to gain speed.
Hey, I
Just in
helped you
case of
cut that, by the way.
Just in case of a tornado.
Give
or
credit
something.
where credit's due.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Roma.
You got to outdo the lady on the bicycle every time.
So I'm laying in my low-profile, sleek, sexy bed with the LED lights
Is
around
it a car bed?
No, it's got LED lights on the headboard, though. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Got to
For the
illuminate
ladies.
that. Well, It's not for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I
like
can
it-
jerk off in the dark.
That's what I was going to say. You don't need light.
That's right. So I put the dog outside, basically whined all night, and then the clickety-clack on the linoleum of dogs wandering around aimlessly.
Sounds like somebody needs their nails trimmed, Steve.
Well, it wasn't me. It was the dog.
Deny
It
all you
seems
want.
yeah.
Sleepwalking and trying to blame it
Dog
on the
walking
dog.
through my toenails that are strewn about the linoleum.
Just clipping them and letting them fly. I'm proud of you.
Exactly. But, butter should have texture.
Oh,
What?
God.
The butter, it stays warm if you leave it out. It's nice. Then it's very spreadable.
Gross.
How do you mix your pub burger butter together?
Yeah, those really are onions, I swear.
Oh, fuck. I feel a little nauseous after that comment.
Little blue cheese and
Hold on, I want to read what Kat said. She said a few seasons of Game of Thrones was also excessive. LOL. There was like 10-minute scene of girls going at it in the background while Peter was talking, and for what? It just went on and on.
Peter Dinklage?
I don't know.
Yes.
I started watching Game of Thrones, and I think I got through not much, and it was too much. It just
Surprisingly enough, it got tame when the bloodshed started later on.
I could see that.
I liked it.
It wasn't as good as the books, but I mean,
Okay, you're the only nerd that's ever read the books.
Yeah, no one's ever read those.
I read them while I was fighting fire.
I don't allow white literature in my house.
He's white.
Yeah.
Oh God, I need to rethink my life.
Well, and I think it was pretty good up to about season 5, and then
Okay.
it's just kind of
Well, it took not just a left turn, but a left U-turn and then turned again.
Yeah, they were stretching towards the end. I don't give a shit about the ice wall. So our friend the dog, and then I pee frequently because I have this neurosis to myself that growing up a diabetic, when you have high blood sugar, you pee often. So I would get myself in situations where I didn't have a bathroom accessible, and so like I would have this like super full, like very uncomfortable bladder. So almost everywhere I go, I try to use the bathroom very consistently.
Well, that's better than changing your catheter.
It's true. And since I'm in a wheelchair.
Right.
So I ended up
Call back.
going into the, and I end up getting up to go to the bathroom basically every time I wake up and it's not like I really have to pee, but
Like habit or
it's just one of those things where I'm thinking about it. And if I don't do it, it'll bother me. So I'm like, and then insomnia, I end up going to the bathroom quite a few times. Every time I would do that, the dog would wake up and start whining and clickety-clacking again. And so it was just like between the two of us, I was considering pissing out the window.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like that's how.
So wait, if you
I'm
pee
proud
so
of you.
much at night, how do you know whether or not you have an inflamed prostate when you're older?
Well, I just relieve it often. Very often. No.
As
I don't
well
know.
you should.
I haven't had the finger up the butt yet, but I imagine they'll probably be very impressed.
That's how old are you when that starts happening? 40?
40. 40 is when
Is
you're
it?
supposed to get the finger up the butt check.
I thought it was 50.
And then 50 is when they decide to turn you into a movie.
With the
Colonoscopy,
oh.
you're getting the roto-rooter with the
Yeah.
camera on the end.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't think it's an enlarged prostate, but because I've had it for years. I remember as a child.
I hope you'd have it for years.
Yeah. I remember as a child, I developed a technique for peeing in the toilet where I would hit the porcelain before the water so that I wasn't loudly peeing at night because everyone in the house, I didn't want to wake people up or like cause them.
I can guarantee you peeing in the toilet has never woken me up.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just saying this is the type that when you look at that behavior demonstration, that I developed that behavior when I was 10 years old. That's a thing.
See, I'm a turn the doorknob and place it into the door frame and then undo the doorknob type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So like all the times I've ever had roommates, and not including like, significant others, but whenever I've had roommates, I live in the house like I'm a guest, and it's terrible because I can't just like everybody else is playing their music and slamming doors and leaving dirty dishes. And
we got to flush now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
So I hate
rules.
roommates because I'm so uptight and paranoid and about, perfectionist, or I don't even know what it is, about other people, that I can't relax. I feel like a guest in my own living situation.
It's terrible. It's terrible when you are hyper aware of people that you live with, but the people that you live with
Are not hyper aware of
could
you.
give 2, 3, 4, or even 5 fucks as to whether or not you exist. And it's just all about them.
Till you start just randomly letting knobs go.
Oh, yeah. You just let the knob go, just pee all over
Just
everything.
peeing into the water.
Into the
Jesus.
water. It's terrible.
Middle of the night, just letting that stream fly.
Because it is something that other people have brought up to me, and I'm like, yes, it could eventually be that. However, I don't think familially there's ever been prostate issues or anything. It's just that's not what it is.
I mean, that's good.
If it was, I would love to have some sort of a solution. That I could just take a pill and have somebody stick their finger in my butt.
You got to get 2 fingers in there, and you just got to squeeze it to shrink it. I don't know.
All right, well, we'll do it afterwards. With big hands.
Well, they're clean too.
All right, not for long.
It's gonna be a better night.
Yep. All right, so beside getting fisted,
2 fingers.
So we took the dog out this morning, and I woke up. I didn't sleep from like 5 a.m. So I just woke up and just went. I was like, fuck it, today's already a day. Was gonna go get some food. And last night I had I'm rolling into a different story, but DoorDash. Okay.
I've never DoorDashed.
I had never either.
Okay.
I'm against it.
Okay.
Well, I am too, because it's expensive.
This is
Not
exactly
just because it's expensive. I am just, if I want food delivered, it's got to be from like a pizza delivery. Anything else, it's a fucking joke.
I agree. Now,
Props to people for making money off of doing that
Yes.
shit, but I rarely, working in a restaurant for as long as I did, trust anyone with my fucking food. Ever.
So my thing is I want to order it and talk to the person that I'm ordering from, right? And like being, I don't know, I just want to be involved and be like, oh no, let me clarify that. Like that's me.
Are you wearing pants?
I mean, short pants or whatever, hot pants.
Hot pants.
Yeah, some
Okay.
bicycle shorts, the one with the padding, like from front to back.
Yeah.
And we can tell what religion
Sexy.
you are. Perfect.
So I look like, yeah. That is a good. That made me laugh hard.
Do you know that? Did you know that?
I can tell.
Yeah.
Did you know that Frank Sinatra wore padded ass cheek pants for on the town because he was so skinny he had a flat ass, and so they
Wow.
put padding on him so he'd look better in the sailor suits.
That's
You know,
awesome.
he
Just a
could-
little factoid for you.
He could probably have borrowed some of mine, and I'd still be okay.
Some of your ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got a badonkadonk.
Mhm.
Check it out next time.
put a
Next
bug
time,
on it.
yeah, next time he walks out of the studio, definitely
right,
take a look see.
Yeah.
Take a little gander.
Yeah,
It's a shelf.
you
If he
wouldn't
puts on
be
a couple pounds, it's like
you wouldn't be the
it's
first.
like J-Lo. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Are you half Puerto Rican?
No, not even close.
Fair enough. Brazilian. We have listeners.
Well, if I waxed, I would be.
Yeah. So the DoorDash. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's a DoorDash user.
Okay.
Because she had as a young child, and just it makes sense that you're not going out, to get something that it can be brought to you. I was very against it, sort of like you guys are, and I was like, give it a shot, and I'm doing the keto thing, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna order a salad, like you can't order a
Salads
lot of
for
good
delivery,
pizza,
yeah.
like other than pizza, delivery is fairly limited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chinese food.
So this is a way.
Yeah, Chinese food is another exception. I will agree with that. Chinese food can be delivered safely.
Yeah. And you're not making a lot of changes and like different things to that, but the great thing is now that with apps, you can literally just spell it out.
Yeah.
And it just prints out on a little ticket that they then like use to create your
read as they're
food.
making it, yeah.
So
That
I do
ticket
think
haunts me.
it's a pretty direct way to get what you order the way you order it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, it makes sense as to why you and or other peons out there.
Lots of people. I mean,
You're not the peon
yeah.
ever.
I pee on dogs.
Well, apparently, as I learned, yes.
Not my fault though.
No,
If that's what you're insinuating.
No, I insinuate nothing, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the second time I may have called her. It's like, where are you now? Now that I'm into this.
But
Holy shit.
it makes sense that it is a profitable market, especially with the fact that we had the pandemic.
Yeah.
It exploded.
Yes.
It kept restaurants alive. I understand its purpose. I am just so against trusting other people who did not make my food to bring me my food.
Now, my
outside of a
DoorDasher,
restaurant.
my DoorDasher, Marguerite, she basically just takes the bag and then just drops it off on the porch. So you don't even have to say hi,
Well, that's crap.
which is nice.
You like saying hi, though, don't you?
No, not really. I don't know. She was,
Oh, not to the deliverer,
no.
but to the people who are actually taking your order. You got to talk to them for a minute.
I'm kind of a go into the restaurant guy. Like, I'm not really a drive-through guy
See, that's my problem with the
I want
DoorDash.
refills.
I'd rather,
because I need to pee more.
yeah.
Kat says, hungover me loves DoorDash. Skip the dishes.
That's true too. Yep, it came with a lid that you just like slice it off and put it in. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I go there onto the DoorDash app, and it's like, 30 free days of Dash Pass and all this stuff. Ended up, I ordered a couple salads and from Red Robin, this really fancy restaurant, and the
Dan.
app said 9. I think full menu till 9:15, and I didn't know what that meant, and so I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm like going, I'm like, I better get to-go silverware. I didn't check that box, and so I checked the to-go silverware, and I hit the enter or hit the submit order, and it goes, not available. Do you want to schedule this for later? It was 9:16.
Oh.
So what they mean by full menu is you can't order after a certain time, because I think they close at 10. So like 45 minutes before the place closes, you can't order, which I understand, because it takes 45 minutes.
Dan has so many things to say right now.
Go ahead, Dan. Are we going to talk about the Royal Robin Burger?
That one was actually tolerable.
Yeah.
However, this crap where they're saying you can only order certain things up until 9:15, and
but it was everything, because I thought that too. I was like, that's easy stuff. Maybe they don't want to make.
So you weren't able to order a single
anything.
thing.
No,
really.
It would let you order for tomorrow, but it wouldn't let you. So I think they would say, hey, limited menu available till whatever, like maybe during lunch or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
It's not they limit you at that point. It's nobody can order shit after that point.
I survived the Dirty Bird for over 15 years.
You worked at Red Robin?
Oh, yes,
really?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
I did.
That's how he knows how to cook.
Gotcha. Yeah.
One of the reasons why I know
one
how
of
to
the
cook.
reasons, yeah.
Survival was also another reason as I learned how to cook. They just helped me hone my skills.
I've seen you with an MRE.
Yeah.
I know how good you are. Making some nacho cheesy tuna thingies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was also firefighting that helped me with that one. And survival. But
and
this whole now we're gonna take it easy on the kitchen, and now we're gonna say you can't order past 9:15 is a bunch of shit.
And that's
It's a bunch of shit, because I was still when I worked there, I was still fulfilling orders after close.
Sure.
They would order stuff, it would print on the ticket. Guess what? I have no choice. I have to cook it. It doesn't matter how long it's supposed to take.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Doesn't matter how shut down your kitchen is, because you start closing early, and that's when everybody comes in late. That's when you get the people walking in at 9:55.
I waitressed for 6 months. It was terrible, but they'd have people come in 5 minutes to close, and it'd be a 20 top, and they would all fucking order food.
Respect to you. You at least gave it 6 months.
I gave it 6 months.
I believe that someone should give at least 6 months. I'll give 6 months, 6 months to a year of their professional career, no matter what they go into, you need to work in the food industry.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree.
No matter how old you are, you have to, because then you will understand
Yes.
what the kitchen goes through. You understand what the wait staff goes
Yep.
through.
Yeah.
People
Ideally,
who
you
get
both.
tips, no matter the dish cleaning, all of that.
Or maybe
Busing.
they should make it like a high school prerequisite. Is that what do they call those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or a requirement.
Requirement, there
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It shouldn't be an elective. It should be
Yeah.
a mandatory.
Yeah. Well, that's like you brought up Starship Troopers, service guarantees, citizenship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get to be think of how many Mexicans we would have as citizens,
Oh my goodness.
and how many
They have
white
families.
liberals we wouldn't.
Right?
Oh,
Oh,
my
for
goodness.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh my
it'd be-
goodness.
We'd be our voting would look very different.
Jeff isn't allowed to be a citizen because
Yeah.
he didn't serve.
Exactly. He
In
didn't
the
want a White
restaurant.
Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think working in a nice restaurant like that, especially where they do American style, kind of like pub style food, is really good for us because it teaches you how to cook a lot of different things,
Yeah.
because you're making
basic.
quesadillas and burritos and burgers and
Oh,
sandwiches and
There are
salads.
so
and-
many things that I can cook that I will never eat.
Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah. I think it's one of the best things you can do. And that's one of the things about DoorDash is that it gives you so many more options because they deliver from everywhere.
And I actually have a challenge for you, sir.
All right. I'll eat it.
Good. Good. Because there are things that I have been very proficient at making for years that I will never, ever put into my body because I do not stand the ingredients that goes into it, but I can make it
Are we talking about dog?
not out loud.
Korean food. Sorry, South Korea.
No. I would just like to cook for you something, and because I remember the words that you said one time when I wasn't here, but was definitely paying attention. You said people who do not eat the food have no business making it because they have no idea what it tastes like.
Sure.
I may have no idea what it tastes like, but I could blow your mind, Steve.
All right. I mean, I'm
your
open to
stomach.
it. And of course, there's no absolutes in life, but there are definite consistencies in life. That.
Oh yeah, death. Death
People-
is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
All
Pretty
right,
consistent.
fairly. Like Brian once said.
Roma's a fucking Highlander, dude. Okay, if nobody cuts
98.
her head off.
Call back to Brian.
Okay.
Brian once said 98% of people die,
Yeah.
and that it's scary.
Yep.
Pretty
That is
scary.
scary.
Yeah.
So
But only 98.
I didn't get my DoorDash last night, and I was pretty upset about that. So I got the dog. I'm hungry. I was gonna get 2 fucking salads and try to pound them both.
What
didn't
salads were
work.
you going for?
I was going with the Southwest chicken. So
Okay, yeah, no.
ancho chicken. with
Not bad,
the-
not bad.
No,
Anchos.
no tortilla strips. But
Right,
I did go
right.
with the corn and the black beans because I was like, it's not going to be overwhelming.
Black beans? Really? You?
In there, yeah. Look, I'm not proud. I'm not a
Well,
proud man.
I guess they don't have kidney, so or
Yeah.
pinto. So
Yeah,
I get
pinto,
it. I
Pinto
get
would
it.
be great, but they're also higher in carbs, and so I haven't been eating any pinto beans really. I think black's a little less carby.
I'll try to not be disappointed in you.
I think there's more fiber.
I've been eating a lot of things that I don't particularly
Care for, but it's
prefer.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also went with the crispy chicken salad, but with the grilled chicken instead.
Egg,
And
cheese,
no
tomato,
cartoons.
bacon.
Yep. Yeah,
Crispy
which,
chicken.
which was really good.
But did you go with the grilled?
Yeah.
You went with the grilled instead of a crispy.
And so just got shot down on that. Stayed up all night, had that bad night. Came through with the dog in the morning. Took the dog out to the bathroom. Dog peed and walked for like, I don't know, 20, like must have been a 20-foot piss, the whole time, just like this awkward, like 14-year-old dog.
Props to you.
Yeah, just laying down rivers of piss. So, and that was about 7 a.m. or so, and I ended up going to the. I ended up back in we ended up back in the house, and then at a certain point, I take a step, and I step right in a big hot puddle of dog piss, like hot, like just happened. And the dog had been obviously following me around all day.
Were you walking in circles?
And it was only like 3 hours from that time of that big piss. So I'm like, this isn't good. And I didn't want to yell at the dog, but I definitely, told it to go lay down. And
Were you in its bathroom?
no,
Because if you were in the dog's bathroom,
I was in my bathroom washing my feet and hands because I was covered in dog piss.
she's like, "Hey, turnabout's fair play."
Yeah. Well, speaking of turnabout, I took the dog out later, and then the dog, the owners of the dog said something about, oh yeah, her stools are generally formed very well and all this, and it just had the diarrhea-iest shit.
Probably because you're
ever
feeding
seen.
it buttered fucking hamburgers.
Look, they told me that's what she eats.
I don't think that's what she eats.
Yeah, I didn't even like it. I just made it for myself. So, and the other thing is also in the morning the dog had taken a shit. And what she did was she shit right next to some other dog's pile of shit that some other pile of shit had left there for me. So now
Wonderful.
I would have looked like I
Didn't pick
left
up.
that shit.
Yeah.
So I have to pick up old, desiccated, dried up, cold shit with the hot, steamy shit that this dog produced.
That's just shit all over.
It was horrific.
So I take care of dogs on a regular basis, and I've found that over the years, initially when I first started doing it, picking up hot poop was very much like
Favorite thing.
it really made me feel gross, right?
Mhm.
It still doesn't make me feel good, but I find that cold poop actually creeps me out even more than hot poop. Like, for instance, if it's cold outside, like freezing temperatures, and I have to pick up cold poop, through the little baggie, for whatever reason, that solid, frozen, cold poop really makes me uncomfortable.
Because it's awkward.
Like, it's old and I don't know. It's just,
I mean, you could probably like spritz it with some water and get a heat gun.
I mean, I'll just feel awkward about it.
Just bring out a hairdryer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not picking this up until it
But
thaws.
like the difference, because, if I'm like dog sitting or whatever, and I have to go out and, say there's like a day or two of dog poop out there. So I'm going and picking up old stuff and it's frozen. I don't like it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oof, it's weird.
I don't know if anyone is like that.
It's just weird. I guess you just pick up enough dog shit that's warm and you're used to it. And then when it's cold, it's like not good. It's like a dead body, like you'd prefer it to be warm than cold. I mean, I would.
mean, depending on what's.
Depends on what you're into.
Yeah.
Well, considering, you've dealt with, for sure, at least 3 dead bodies. Headless, of course.
I think there's 4. Didn't I say 4? I said 4.
You heard it on the air first, folks.
Mm-hmm. Roma's killed 4 people. Most of
Beheaded.
which named Roma.
Right. At least 75%.
So the dog shit's all over the place. No,
Okay.
The dog pisses in the house. And then,
In the house?
well, the dog pissed in the house.
Didn't
when
shit
I
in the
stepped
house.
on the hot
But you had to pick up the other dog
puddle.
poop.
Yes.
Oh,
So I
okay.
did that.
Okay.
Yeah. So then took her out and she had the most diarrhea shit in the world. So then I opened up my DoorDash app because I'm obsessed with DoorDash already. I'd opened it several times already.
Oh my
that day.
God.
But I noticed, guess what was still in my cart?
The
The
salads.
salads?
That's right. It was waiting for me. So I ordered my salads. Marguerite came by. It was delayed, of course. You have to tip her some money. So I was like, I don't know. How much does this tip worth?
I don't know.
Right. You
Yeah.
had to wait from last night. And
That's
then
true.
Marguerite had to wake up.
Mm-hmm. And, anyways, so it was about $27 for 2 like entree salads. And so that's not
Unfortunately, yeah.
that bad. Yeah. But I mean,
I mean,
the
it's about
salads
what
were
you're-
like $12 a piece. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was going to say, I mean, you, for 2 meals for 2 adults at
I mean,
a
it was one
restaurant.
meal.
Well, but for two plates of food at a restaurant plus a tip, you're probably going to spend about $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fairly standard for the bird.
Yeah. I
For
would
most
say
places.
at least $30. Yeah. For
Most places,
anyone.
you're going to get a plate of food plus a tip. It's going to be about $15.
Yeah.
And it was nice. The food was great.
Good.
I think if you ordered something that was a little more like I don't like older French fries.
No,
I don't.
No.
I don't even really like driving my French fries if I do a drive-through
Same.
home because
No,
they're already.
No, I eat them while they're in the bag
you have
because
to eat them while they're hot.
yeah, like, and I want them burning hot. I've gone through. I rarely eat French fries, so if I go to a drive-through to get French fries, they need to be fucking hot.
Yeah.
They need to be salted and hot, and I want extra ketchup. And I've started driving home, gotten that first bite, and it's been cold, and turned around and got new ones. 'Cause I'm like, I'm not wasting the calories and the money on subpar French fries when I never eat French fries.
Yeah. No, especially if it's a treat for you.
Yeah, it's a treat.
You shouldn't tolerate that shit at all, ever, because they're just trying to usher you through the window. It's like, no, listen here, motherfucker, you little 16-year-old shit. You're gonna give me my fucking fresh French fries. I know it only takes about 3 minutes. I'm coming back through. You're giving me free hot fries now. Salty. Yes, I want the extra ketchup. Don't ask me.
I like
again.
when you ask for extra ketchup and they give you 3. That's a thing.
See, I'm the guy that
we
they give
went-
the whole handful to.
Well, see, here's the crazy thing is
I don't know what that says about me.
we
This
went
guy
through
looks like he likes ketchup a
condiment
lot.
hungry.
Yeah.
we went through the drive-through one time at McDonald's and we were like, okay, can we get some ketchup for our fries and stuff like that? They gave us 1 packet,
That's hilarious.
a single fucking packet of ketchup.
We did have a ketchup drought, though. We talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
During the COVID. So I don't know if this was pre-COVID. I hope you separate your life now with that.
Pre and post
Pre and
COVID.
post. But
It's all blended now.
it's interesting because things like McDonald's now on the apps, you put the number of packets of ketchup. So it's like 1 packet, 2 packet, 3. You know, you keep hitting the plus sign.
17.
And then they just throw a handful of ketchup in there anyways. Because I'm like, I'll just take 3 packets, you know, or 6 pack. You know, if I get 2 hash browns, I'm like, well, I'll probably use like 1.5 on each. So I'll do like, you know, 6 or 5 or whatever.
I never order food like delivered. I mean, pizza, obviously, but
that you drive through and then they start making it the second you get there. And so like you give them the number or
Those apps.
it tracks your GPS.
oh,
When you get to the place you hit, I'm here. And then you drive to the drive-through.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then you go, oh, K631. And then they go, okay, drive around. And
creepy.
or the nice
and you've
thing
already
is,
paid for it.
The nice thing is that you can do that, and they have parking spots to where you can
For
go
that. Yeah.
and pull up, and then they just walk it out to you.
Correct. And that's where one day I made a young lady run in and get the ketchup. And she ran back out actually ran. And I was like, so I grabbed a couple bucks and gave it to her because I was like, you know, you don't have
made
to run.
effort.
Exactly. You know, but working in the service industry, that extra effort while my food's getting cold because I was the asshole and didn't get ketchup or didn't order the ketchup when all I had to do was hit the plus sign.
But she
ran to go get it, so my food stays hotter, so I give her $2.
see, and that also is a reason why people need to work in the food industry is because it gives them the incentive that, you know what, if you go above and beyond because somebody was a dildo
Yeah.
and didn't fucking order it, and yet they ask for it at the last second and they actually put in the effort to be like, hey, I'm going to do this for you. And it's just my job to do this for you. And then you're like,
Yeah. If she was shitty about
you
it.
didn't have $1. Like
Yeah.
you had $0 before you came out here. You went and did this for me. Guess what? You now have an extra dollar on top of what you make.
Sure.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. And
you
the fact that
deserved
if
it.
you keep doing that, people will pay you more money. You know, there's a relationship between work and pay. If you work harder and you're more pleasant and you help people and, you know, because that's my fault. So, you know, I could have been like, why isn't there ketchup in here? I ordered fucking hash browns or I ordered, ordered
This is
McDonald's.
for you.
But
This is
that's
for you.
me having worked at a restaurant. I go, oh, fuck, no, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I needed to ask for
Exactly.
that. I can't assume people to know what people know because I've been on that side of it. I've been the one that, you know, oh, you didn't bring ranch? I'm like, motherfucker,
you didn't
did you
ask for ranch. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, 'cause I gladly would, and I'll go get it right now, but don't treat me like an asshole.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's one
Don't-
thing. When I waited tables, there's 2 different types of people. They treat you as a server or servant, you know, and you get these people and it's just kind of this like, hello. And it's like, bitch, I've got 6 other tables and I already brought you everything. And if you didn't ask for it while I brought it to you, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be happy to bring it to you, but I've got other shit going on.
Yeah.
This
And
this
depending on their
conversation-
attitude, is how soon they
Absolutely.
get that shit.
This conversation hits home
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah. Well,
and
because
I
did,
love it.
I did back of the house for many years, and then I also did front of the house because I was a busboy very early in my restaurant career, and then I was a server late in my restaurant career, and in between I was all back of the house.
Because you just don't want to stay in the back of the house, because no matter what restaurant you work for, how well you're paid, which is a bunch of shit, you're never paid well.
Yeah. You're paid well compared to minimum wage, but
Yeah.
you're not paid well.
Yeah, and that's if you don't suck.
Yeah.
Like you're able to hit the timer, grab it, and do your job. That's when you're not paid minimum wage.
Yeah.
Is because you can do your job.
Well, and corporate puts a lot of stringent, like I would assume, puts a lot of stringent standards because everything has to taste the same.
An eighth of teaspoon of salt for a basket of fries, or you're fired.
Yeah, and they probably have something that automatically like
No.
okay.
No, you have to get that skill.
okay. Yeah, because back when I was working, we would just obviously you make things consistently as consistently as possible, but it wasn't a corporate environment.
If you thrive, you get so good at doing it, and all these little like kids and or old people who have no idea what they're doing are just enthralled by the fact that you can shake a shaker and flip a giant bowl of fries at the same time.
Or the saute pan.
Yeah.
If you can start tossing a saute pan, girls are like, "Ooh, what's going on?" Yeah.
I could see that.
Hello,
I could see
sailor. Can you
Their
flip?
panties just hit their ankles.
that. Yeah.
It's like
that's pretty
concrete
sexy.
hitting the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Dropping a water balloon.
But yeah. So yeah.
So
DoorDash.
So DoorDash brought me my food within a reasonable amount of time. I saved $2 because I allowed them to be an hour, like schedule an hour out. So you can get it in like 45 minutes, or you can go with the around an hour time frame and get $2 off, which I was like, that's cool. That's worth it to me. So I ended up getting that, and I really like the Southwest salad. That was really good. So I'll probably be ordering that one. The Applewood smoked bacon, a little too smoky for me.
Really?
Took away, just seemed to kind of
The
Oh,
take away
overpowered.
from the Applewood.
no the Applewood smoke,
Okay.
was just it kind of
It
took
was
over
just
the salad.
overpowering.
Yeah.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So I would probably go easy on the Applewood bacon. I mean, I like bacon, but
It means that their
if it's
ratio
too
was off.
smoky.
They just piled it on there, and it just wasn't right.
Yeah.
See, there's no such thing as too much bacon, even if it is smoky.
Well, and the because I was like, is this smoked ranch or like because I had
Yeah.
ranch on, and that was the problem is like because I know Red Robin has good ranch.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I that was one of the reasons I wanted that salad was because I wanted to taste the ranch, and it was
Yeah,
just,
I stopped buying ranch in a bottle, and I make it
You're welcome, Dan.
myself. Yes, thank you very much.
I introduced them to the packets.
yeah,
Yeah.
So every
which is
time
what
I go,
they do at Red Robin, right? Because it's a
Yes.
nice
Yes.
thin like
Yes.
dressing.
yeah, so
Yeah.
every time I go over there, he's always like, I made fresh ranch. Yes.
Is it so like Hidden Valley or
Hidden Valley packets, yeah.
Yes,
I have
actually
one.
actually it is
Amazing.
what Red Robin uses. They just use a big old
Mm-hmm.
white
Big
pouch, but it's
tubs.
Hidden Valley. They do mayo and buttermilk.
Mm-hmm.
And
But you don't make it that way.
No, I don't use buttermilk. I just use regular milk and mayo.
Yeah.
But
It's delicious.
But those packets are surprisingly expensive.
They are.
Yeah.
they're like $1.47 a packet.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
you
it was
just
like
about-
$4 or something when I saw it because it was because I was comparing it to taco seasoning.
I think there's different size packets.
I think this was just one of the regular ones.
Also, they've got like the dip ones, and then like the seasoning ones, and then like the
Yeah.
dressing one. I don't know the difference.
The seasoning itself is supposed to be more for like seasoning some
Marinades and
kind of a
stuff.
meat
Yeah.
or marinade. Yeah. The dip is you have like no milk, and it's just like sour cream, and then you just mix the packet in with that, and then you have like a thickened dip, And then the actual like seasoning or restaurant style, they all say something different.
Yeah, the dressing one.
But yeah, the dressing one is where you actually mix like sour cream or like mayo and milk. It's supposed to be buttermilk, but mine's just fine with the milk that I use.
It's delicious.
And
so what do you use this ranch for? What do you
Salad
salads.
Oh, okay.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's because I like ranch. I like ranch
ranch,
on my
too.
salad.
Totally.
Doesn't really matter what kind of salad it is. I just like ranch on my salad. If it's supposed to be Caesar, fuck the dressing. I just get.
I like Caesar, but I also if I'm in a ranch mood, it's ranch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good ranch. You can't beat good ranch.
No.
You can't.
And I fought that for a long time. So, coming
yeah.
from the East Coast, it's always all about Italian dressings
Mm-hmm.
or blue cheese or whatever. I don't even know if I ate ranch outside of like a hot
We were not a
bottle of
ranch
Hidden Valley.
family.
Yeah.
I do have a guilty pleasure from Red Robin, and that is the Baja Ranch.
And that's what goes on the salad, right?
The Southwest.
Yes. Yeah. I was really impressed with that one.
Oh
That was
my
a good one.
goodness. I made so much food with just like with that dressing as part of like
So the food was just a vehicle for the ranch.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I made such good food so many times.
You know that tartar sauce that you tried, Roma?
Yeah.
That you don't know anything about tartar
Yeah,
sauce.
delicious.
That's
I'd try that tartar sauce, and I don't even like tartar sauce.
that one is was one of the recipes that I stole, but we used to do these really great halibut sandwiches.
Okay.
So just
Are we
fried
talking about
halibut.
sandwiches again?
What's that?
Are we talking about sandwiches again?
Sandwich tangent.
No. Damn it.
So
Drink.
You did
Robert
my
rolling.
shot glass disappear, or did I drink the buffalo
You
today?
drank the buffalo because I grabbed the wrong one.
I drank the buffalo. Okay,
know.
well,
Awkward.
It's all right.
it is, but here we are.
So-
Sandwich tangent.
So the halibut sandwiches were delicious, and basically how they came about was they were just the trimmings from our fish and chips. So we
Okay.
would just have like the end piece that you would kind of trim off, and you're like, it's not good enough. So basically we were just like, let's start making the sandwich, which is another great thing about not being corporate, is you can go, hey, we're introducing this, and it was a huge hit, and I would just make
Sandwich tangent.
I would
Everybody
make
drink.
the sandwich with extra tartar sauce. I mean,
Can
really,
taste
it
that
was
sociopath.
it was
So
just
since doing keto, I'm obsessed with mayo.
Yeah.
Obsessed with it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could literally eat it on just about anything. I mean, if it was
aioli.
if it was just right, I could probably put it on a peanut butter sandwich and I'm sure
Yeah.
I could figure it out.
That sounds horrible, but I imagine with
Dude, but it's like tart and salty and creamy. Like it doesn't not go with things.
my dad. Okay, I got to tell you this. My dad used to do double-decker sandwiches, and he'd do bologna
Tangent.
bologna sandwich on the bottom, and on the upper part, he'd do peanut butter and jelly. And he
Really?
would eat it and said it was absolutely phenomenal. So I believe you
But
when you
think about
say
it.
that mayo and peanut butter could go well together.
Yeah.
I think it could.
I'm just personally
you
frightened
did-
that I would like it.
Bananas, mayo, and peanut butter. I bet you'd be delicious. But here's the thing. Think about it. So bologna's similar to ham,
Right.
and peanut butter and or jelly is similar to like honey or maple.
Right.
So like it'd be like a sweet ham
Yeah.
kind of thing. You could do that.
I think that it would be the salty and the salty savoriness with the sweetness.
I'm pretty sure
It's
my
probably very
wife's
well
throwing up
balanced.
like all over my dog right now. It would not surprise me if
Yeah.
I go home and my dog is no longer black and white and it's more like a red and green and
Depends on what she's been eating, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah, let's
but
not assume.
Margot says bologna, lettuce, and mayo sandwich. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tried lettuce. Maybe it was the fact that it was iceberg and not real lettuce back in
I
the
like
day.
butter lettuce.
See, I've discovered, thanks to working in a restaurant, that there's more lettuce that is so much better than iceberg lettuce, because iceberg was what I was used to. You get it at
Sure.
burger joints and stuff. They just pile it
Taco
on.
Bell.
All right, hold up. Margot says my mom made PB and Miracle Whip sandwiches,
Okay, that just sounds horrifying.
but Miracle Whip's sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because here's the thing, like I feel like you can replace butter for mayo. Anything
Yeah.
that you can put butter on, you can put mayo on. And like I said, mayo's tangy, so it's a little weird, but I mean, it's just creamy and salty.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah's got some choice emojis going on.
Throwing up on a dog,
Yeah.
I believe is what she's insinuating.
I just love how this
illustrating.
episode had turned us into us talking about sandwiches again.
Well, look, you know,
I don't know if this is the grapiest podcast. It might be like the
Yeah.
sandwichiest.
yeah,
I don't
we're like
even know.
sandwichy womans.
Yeah.
Sandwichy woman.
She got the aioli in her eyes.
Oh shit! That's what she said.
We'll figure it out.
I'm proud of you for that one. I'm very proud of you for that
And she
one.
said and dill pickles. So wait, was that's not the peanut butter and Miracle Whip with dill pickles, is it? Or is that the bologna lettuce and dill pickle mayo sandwich? Because
I think she's still talking about the PB.
you used to eat.
and Miracle Whip.
You went through a phase of the peanut butter and pickle sandwich.
Yes, but it was
See,
only.
I could
It wasn't the
see
Clausens
that.
though. I want to be very clear about that.
It,
Okay.
it wasn't one of them sweet pickles, was it?
Oh God, no! I am not a sweet pickle guy.
I can appreciate. I got to be in the mood.
No,
Yeah.
no.
One time, I made him go buy me a jar of the sweet pickled chips or whatever. I ate the whole jar in an evening, and I was so swollen the next day from the sodium. I couldn't even get my rings off. It was unbelievable.
I feel horrified right now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I was like, oh, it's low calorie, and my rings wouldn't come off.
That's
Yeah.
like sweet relish. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
I will throw a little sweet relish every now and then into my tuna, but it's overwhelmed by the Clausen chopped up fresh
Aioli.
pickles. So it's just like a little bit of like, it's that balance, you know, where you throw Miracle Whip on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I remember that you had spoken about animals suck.
Oh yeah.
So
They do.
I have a story for you. I am driving back from Duck Valley to Montana,
Okay.
and it was for work. We were installing a evidence locker for a jail
Oh,
on an
that's
Indian
cool.
reservation. And of course, you know, they've got the free range cow sign on the sides of the road. So see the cows out in the fields and the whatnot. And then I see this one. He's just chilling on the right side of the road, just hanging out. Sees me coming, is just still chilling. I start getting closer. Motherfucker decides to play chicken and just beelines it across the road. I had to slam on the fucking brakes
That's
for
awesome.
a fucking cow.
In a big moving truck.
Yeah, in a 26-foot Penske. It
Damn.
was ridiculous.
Did you still have everything in the back?
Yeah.
And it all shifted.
it all
and, yeah.
slammed to the front,
All the
screwed
tools.
up a
Fucker.
toolbox, broke the wheel. My dude who's sitting in the seat next to me is like, "At least you didn't hit the cow." And I'm like, that's what I'm saying, because then we would have had to pay for the cow as well as the damage to the truck.
And you're probably over an Indian burial ground, so who knows if that cow would have come back and haunted you.
I didn't want to break that.
Dan,
Yes.
move into the camera.
Sorry. My apologies.
I haven't been paying attention, so you might have been off camera this whole time, but
Here we can.
I talked to somebody recently, so I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but I'm obsessed with buffalo, and I have a very large buffalo collection.
You?
New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Buffalo, New York, obsessed with it.
not you.
American bison. And so and it started when I was a kid. I went to Yellowstone and saw a buffalo for the first time, and I just was like, this is the most amazing creature I've ever seen in my life. So anyways, later in life, I started to collect items, and it's a bit of a problem. Anybody that
Roma has more buffalo than
anybody
Yellowstone.
that comes to my home
Yeah.
is like, wow, this is kind of creepy. But I just can't help myself. And then, of course, once somebody knows that you collect something, they get it for you. So, you know,
It's very easy around gift season
Sure.
with Roma.
It helps.
Yeah.
So
It helps.
I collect it myself, and then everybody I know collects it for me. And so, like, you know, I have stuffed animals, and I have like, you know, miniature like, you know, figurines and everything, clothing, everything. And so, anyways, I have a necklace which I'm not wearing today, but it's got a buffalo on it. And so, a woman comes in and it's like, oh, is that a buffalo? And I said, yeah. And she goes, oh yeah, the first time I ever saw a buffalo, I was at Yellowstone, and we got stopped by a herd of buffalo because one was having a baby in the middle of the road. And she's like, we watched it give birth in the middle of the road, and we just sat there and watched it.
Wow.
And, yeah, isn't that crazy?
I don't know whether to be horrified or amazed.
I think it's
Probably
amazing.
both.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably both.
I don't know if I'd be horrified, but it would definitely be, it would be special for sure. That you just happen.
Get the fuck out of here.
Because I've seen a cow being born, but
He's an asshole.
Yeah. But just giving birth, I mean, because it's hard to, it's not hard. I mean, you do see them when you go to Yellowstone. I mean, I've gone to Yellowstone a couple times, and I've seen buffalo, but they're not usually in the road. It does happen. And they're not usually giving birth, but the giving birth in the road in front of you, like that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I would pay to see that just because the miracle of life and whatnot.
Did they eat the placenta?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well,
I wonder.
you know,
Probably. I think that's the
the
thing.
questions that you got to ask.
They probably would, and the reason I would say that is so that it doesn't attract other animals.
In the wild, usually that's what
because, wolves and
animals do.
Yeah.
I was talking about the driver.
Oh, right,
Gotcha.
right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I hear
With a little aioli.
Yeah.
Maybe some sweet relish.
Some peanut butter aioli.
Yeah.
Throw some Miracle Whip on that. Sweet and savory.
That's quality.
Absolutely.
Quality, 100%. One year I was fighting fire. I actually was camped on an Indian reservation. Thankfully, they were kind enough to let us do this up in Washington. And in the field next to us, it was barbed wired off from us, but there's a whole herd of buffalo just hanging out like all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
They're amazing.
that is fantastic because only time before that I saw them was 10 again in Yellowstone. Go
Literally
figure.
God's greatest creature ever invented.
They're
I mean, maybe
Great
outside.
white shark is pretty
I
cool.
was gonna say maybe outside
a
of
great
humans.
white shark,
The grapiest.
the grapiest of sharks, enemy to
Grapiest catch.
yes, yes,
Deadliest catch.
Enemy to Jabberjaw, right? The grape white. It's got to be enemy to Jabberjaw, right?
I can't remember
Sarah
what
says,
Jabberjaw
I
is.
just gagged so loud I woke the dog up.
I'm surprised she was
What,
asleep.
little Miracle Whip and placenta? Jeez, grow up.
Yeah, seriously. So did you know that you can use mayo to make French toast?
I
Yes.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can
So
also
can-
use it to make cake.
Yes. Yep.
And because
So
it's eggs.
it's eggs and salt, and that's it, right? Eggs and salt
I
and
think so.
Yeah.
Traditionally. Yeah.
so
And,
you
like,
coat
they use
the
oil.
toast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And oil,
oil,
too.
yeah.
So,
you coat the toast with it, or the bread with it, and then you pan fry it on both sides, and it creates a crust, and it's delicious. It's a little saltier than if you just did the egg batter.
Yeah.
But it's the same. It's
Interesting.
good.
I got a little too comfortable. I was all over the place. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right, you might have
Not
to turn
the
his mic down
camera.
just a little bit because I moved it closer to him.
I'm not in the camera.
Sorry, I haven't been paying
I'm away
attention.
from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mic.
No, that's fine.
I
It sounded fine, but the more the further away you are, the more hollow your voice gets.
Yeah.
And so if you want to sound really good, you get closer up to the mic. But
Yeah.
obviously,
well, this chair's got a lot of movement.
a warmer presence to our listening audience. We've got people in Albania listening.
Yeah.
For God's
we have
sakes.
to make a good impression.
Yeah. Roma, do
sorry.
you remember Dennis and Anea?
Absolutely.
They were
trying-
Albanian.
God, they were
trying to not
fucking.
let
They
you
were
down.
trouble.
Yeah.
Trying to not let you down.
You're
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Didn't we
You're
get
fine.
banned from hanging out with them for a while?
Yeah, I think so.
They were trouble.
Anea would pee his pants, and then he would say, "It rained."
Oh, he would.
Yeah,
That's
right on
pretty
the front of
funny.
his pants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty funny.
That's
And
fantastic.
Dennis's name was really Dendori.
Oh, I didn't know that. We always had very ethnic friends.
Yeah.
Hector.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hector.
What was his sister's name? Doris? Was it
I don't remember.
Dolores?
her.
She was older.
Dolores Van Cartier.
And then James and
Jamal.
James and Jamal.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Steve, the
Who was Steve?
Asian guy that did the karate.
I don't
And
remember
then there
that.
was White Mark, the only white kid that lived
Yeah.
around us.
And then who lived across the street?
Duran. And I can't remember his sister. She was pretty young though.
No, you listen here, White Mark.
And
we don't want any problems.
It was Ron and Denise, and so they named their son Duran.
Yes,
Denise, Ron.
they
Yeah.
were so cool.
Yeah.
We had like next to no white friends.
No.
There was a couple families. There was a Katie.
And props to you
Yeah.
for not seeing the color.
I dated her for a little while.
Oh, you did?
She was more manly than I was, though.
She was very athletic.
Yeah.
So there was
That's
Katie.
what we'll call it.
Yeah. I wonder if she ended up being a lesbian. Sarah and Mark. Do you remember Jennifer? I don't remember. I just remember she was chubby.
Not my bag, Roma.
Yeah.
Sorry, not into that.
Yeah, Jennifer was white.
Fine.
Yeah,
It's
Sarah
fine.
and Mark were white, and then Katie was white, and then I think that was it. I think everybody else was some
Do you remember
shade
Dirty
of.
Diana?
Yes.
She would ride around.
fuck.
She would ride around with her shirt off on her bike when she was like
and she
14.
had fire red hair
Yep.
and terrible teeth.
Like really bad buck teeth, like the worst
It
over
wasn't even
under
buck.
bike.
It wasn't even. Yeah, it was like it's not like
Yeah.
she didn't
Her
have.
teeth were okay, but it
They
was
were
just
straight. They were
Yeah.
just weird, and freckles.
like
I think.
yeah.
Oh
bad.
my god, I have not thought about that since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had to be on the spectrum. Okay, who was your friend that used to collect the comic books? Was it Matt?
Matthew McCready.
Yes,
Greedy
Matthew
McCready.
McCready?
Dude,
I am
and-
so proud that you knew somebody named McCready,
That's
and it's a
amazing.
ridiculous
Yeah.
thing to be proud of.
and super duper comic book nerd,
Mm-hmm.
didn't shower, glasses.
God,
like
why hold up the stereotype?
I think
Yeah.
no, he had.
I was the other
looking-
white guy in the class.
Looking back on it, because we were into comic books, we were into X-Men and stuff like that. Looking back on it, I look at these kids and I'm like, oh, they were on the spectrum.
Yeah,
That's what this
probably.
was. That's what this was, because super socially awkward, didn't dress appropriately, didn't shower. Just that's
So-
what that was.
McCready had a sister, and his sister was kind of cute, like especially for.
I remember
for-
her vaguely. What was her name?
I
Do you
think
know?
her name was Diane.
That's who I think I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah, not Dirty
Oh,
Diana.
Diane
No, not
McCready.
Diana.
Yeah.
Okay, Diane McCready. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
And her dad. So her mom and dad. The dad was super nerdy, like McCready. He was.
Okay.
I mean, he was the nerdiest kid. I got into a fist fight with him once, and he stabbed me with a pencil, and I
Oh.
punched him in the gut several times,
Did you miss the gooch?
and he drooled a big drool spot on my back.
Oh shit,
So it was me and the other white guy, and we were in Mr. Causey's sixth grade
Mr.
class.
Causey. Mr. Causey, did you get your hair cut? No, I got all of them cut.
Yes.
You remember that?
So I would punch him. I was punching him in the stomach, and he just drooled a big drool spot on my
Oh,
back, which was really gross. So his dad was super nerdy, and his mom was kind of just plain, and that's
She
the
was
way his
plain.
sister was.
Yeah.
But she was fairly good looking. I guess,
I just don't
for
remember
a-
what she looked like.
Yeah, just
And
one of those
especially as a
plain
girl, I
Janes
wouldn't
kinda
be
girl.
noticing.
kind of like
Very
the mom
plain.
on that 70s show, but not with the makeup and like the looking 70s cute
Kitty,
or whatever.
right?
Yeah.
Kitty.
Yeah.
So, so I invited myself over to their house.
Okay.
Because I said, hey, we should hang out and I'll come over or whatever. And so when I got there, he's like, you can't invite yourself over to our house anymore. And they were like total hoarders, like
I remember
piles
that
of stuff all
vaguely.
over the place. And they had a pool that just was like
Full of stuff.
yeah. I mean, it had water in it, but not clean water.
Wait, who said you couldn't invite yourself over?
McCready,
Matt.
Greedy McCready, yeah, said that I couldn't invite myself over anymore, and I'm sure it was from his mom. or
Well,
his dad.
obviously, yeah. Why wouldn't he want to hang out?
He was a weirdo.
Yeah, he was.
He used the word trudge,
Oh,
like walking through
Trudge?
to trudge through, because we were writing a comic book together.
yes.
I believe it was called The Scorpion.
Yes, I remember that. And I was going to do the art for it.
Yes.
And we were going to make a foil cover. Do you remember that? And we were going to literally use foil, aluminum
remember
foil.
that part,
I
yeah.
remember that.
That's because we wanted to freebase.
I am so,
Oh my God. We're at the end
Foily
of the-
Friday.
We're at the end of the show.
However,
However,
Diane, I found out later, once had a poop so large that they had to break it up with a steak knife to get it down the toilet.
that's who you were talking about.
I've
I
heard this
brought it up
story.
before.
you,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
brought it up before in
So
an old
it all
show about the
comes
poop
together.
knife.
Yes. Yes.
That's a callback.
And now
Yep.
The Sensible Sociopath is complete.
We can end the show. We'll start over with a new name. Figure the rest out later. Get new
Sandwich
jackets.
Tangent Podcast.
I didn't know that that's
Yeah.
where that came from.
Yeah. Yep.
We need to tell childhood stories because
Yeah.
there's so many stories that you and I have never talked about.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it would jog memories.
Oh,
From one to the
absolutely.
other. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's fun to reminisce with you guys, and
Yeah.
thank you for. No. Like you put me with my brothers as well, and or my sister too, and the stories just flow. And
He's got some good stories too.
I do understand,
and
that
you've got some paranormal stories.
I do.
Maybe
I
we could
do.
get your somebody on, and
Oh
that way.
shit, that would be interesting.
Well, I'm just saying, to get that story dynamic where it's like you add this part, he adds this
Yeah.
part. That's
Oh my goodness! I've been told. Okay, so there's this show out there that's called Supernatural,
Yeah, I love
and
it.
I've been told by my brother that has watched the whole thing. He's like, okay, the only reason why you really need to watch this show is for the brotherly dynamic between the two main characters, who will not be named, but Dean and Sam. They apparently resemble my brother and I, at least in that setting, how we would interact. And I've watched like the first season.
It's
and
really good.
it's hard to argue.
I like that show a lot.
I watched all of it. I haven't caught up on the very final season.
I just
I had a
know that
girlfriend
they've
that called me-
stopped like every apocalypse or everything that has ever happened.
It's
that
a good show, honestly.
I don't
is.
I don't doubt it,
it's
but
it's like the new X-Files. That's what it kind of reminds me
I
of.
was just told to watch it at least for enjoyment of seeing how the two brothers interact, and that my brother and I would pretty much act the exact same way
I could see
in
that.
said scenario.
And I've had girlfriends that were fans of the show, and they say that like my personality is like Dean.
Like reminds you of Dean. Yeah, just kind of
'Cause I'm
sarcastic and
snarky
Yeah,
and whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a great show. So if anybody hasn't seen Supernatural, it's a good.
It's on Netflix.
It's
Watch
a
it.
good bingeable show.
Yeah, it took a
fun
minute.
plug.
It took a minute to get into it, but definitely worth the watch.
And
Cheesy, but one, the main characters are so attractive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're super hot.
thank you guys
Hot dudes.
for letting me back
Yes.
once again.
Oh, totally.
Always appreciated. Anytime I come back, I'm happy to be.
Superfan Dan, you're our go-to guy. So
Kat says mayo grilled cheese. I could totally be on
Okay.
with that.
Oh,
I
no.
could do
I could
do
see that.
grilled cheese and then dip it in a mayo aioli. Like
a cheese,
No,
a
no,
nacho
no.
cheese aioli.
That's
we better call it a wrap, guys.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you for checking us out. We are our members on Patreon. Our subscribers are keeping this show. They're supporting the show, which is always awesome. So thank you to Sarah and Steve and our other contributors. We have the Sensible Sociopath podcast, and you can go there and get our merch.
.com.
Yes, sensiblesociopathpodcast.com. Go to the shop, and then you can check out our lovely mug. We have two new colors there. So we got the pink and we got the orange, I believe, now. Ooh, for the ladies.
I actually
or
like that. You should buy me one.
other people. All right.
you do have a birthday in the future.
Yeah.
Eventually.
We'll get it for you, Roma. So let's say, so if you want to support the show, please go there. You can also listen and watch us on the, on our website. Please listen to us on all major podcasting platforms.
SenSoc.
Thank you to all of our people listening out there on Spotify that we mentioned earlier. Subscribe to us here on YouTube or Rumble or BitChute. And do you have any plugs there, Dan?
Other than the Sensible Sociopath itself, I'd have to say, just keep watching. It's been a fantastic ride.
Oh, yeah.
100 episodes in.
And Dan's listened to
And-
everyone multiple times.
Multiple times. I was actually listening to the last episode.
Poop knife episode?
That one, and jumping back.
Yeah.
I keep listening to them. It's the podcast that you should be watching and that I love. So get on it.
And check out Instagram at sensiblesociopathpodcast.com.
Absolutely.
Or yeah. Sorry, that was wrong. Okay, anyways. See you next week, everyone.
Have a
Live
good
on
night.
Friday.
Bye, guys.
Best podcast in the world. world would not be the same.
I like it.
No wonder my anxiety's so high.
Few people laughed. Few people cried.
Oh, what's in the box?
Most people were silent.
And that was it.
Now I am become death,
Sounds like a bad time.
the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, so this doesn't seem like a great idea to me.
I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
You didn't tell me any of that. That's crazy.
Well, Rama, when you're a hero, you don't tell everyone until you're on your podcast.
I'm about to hear some shit.
We all need to laugh.
I think just sitting down and, listening to...
The Sensible Sociopath. This is the shit you're supposed to be watching.
Gen X is going to love it. Millennials are going to be like, I'm offended.
You have offended me.
Also, my dog has a giant dick.
Oh my god, that's enormous.
I love it.
It's still a racist dog whistle.
Where you kind of have like a rotating cast of characters.
We're talking baby seals, eagles, wolves.
I'm just glad we're not going to have to eat with racism anymore.
It's worse than the butthole.
We're technically considered propaganda.
It is very contagious.
I think we really need to talk about environmentalism.
Like, are they studying pine cones?
Make yourself a nice stingray omelet. That's how Steve Irwin died. Cholesterol.
It's fucking delicious.
His father had ended up killing his mother and committing suicide.
In that order?
That's diabolical. I like it.
They had an apple gun where you could shoot Bigfoot.
Has she always been retarded?
I mean, she could have had a head injury.
You don't know anything about tartar sauce.
He had picked up a 400-pound statue and was like walking around with it.
Was the statue racist?
I'd like to think so.
It's like how they invented bacon and avocado to make a turkey sandwich tolerable.
I have a fear of fire.
Like a werewolf? Daniel, you've been our greatest viewer. Well, Daniel and Sarah and Katrina.
Daniel!